bloop, bloop.
I like paused there for a little bit. I was like, is it going to not let us switch over?
It looked fine. Yeah, it looked fine for me. It's weird how it does that sometimes. Hi.
Oh,
Hi,
hey,
kiddies.
buddy.
Oh boy, there's lots of people there.
Yeah, they're
Look at all
fun.
those people.
Don't they have anything better to do on a Saturday?
No.
I guess not.
We are the better thing to do.
We are. We're the thing.
You got to watch how you say that.
Yeah.
All right, hello, everybody. Nocturnal Feeding Show edition on a Saturday. Ed is busy right now. He may still be able to come up with us. We got Rico and I got a guy. Wonder what guy he got. But anyways.
Got a guy.
I have a feeling you got a lot of guys, just.
That's what I was wondering. All right, we got Wallway, Carol Cox, Scotty Aquati, Professor Fish Tanks. Oh, that's right. Hope you're ready for tomorrow, 6 p.m. Linda Worth, Night Owl Aquatics. I saw what you were doing today on the band. I missed it. Curl Kitty, because she doesn't want me to say killer because it doesn't sound right if I say it. Carlos Diaz, John McKenzie. You got the Whips World. I don't know how I missed him because he was typing like crazy in here. How you say it?
Elfish.
Elfish Tanks.
Elfish Tanks. Nice to see you. I like it. That's a
Elfish.
And that's a Corey Doris is I think I need like my magnifying glass to look at that.
Yeah. Here, hold on. Yeah, I still can't see it.
It's all pixels.
That's funny. Yeah. We also have, let's see, this person. That never gets old. And if it does not, if it does get people out there,
if you say his name 3 times, he'll show up.
That's right. It worked last. What was that, Thursday?
Yep.
Oh, Nancy D in Tennessee, first class fish. Robert Reed. That's a new one for me. Nice to see you. We got Scuba Squad. How are you, buddy? Jenny Lynn. She almost has me talked into getting some geckos. That's the bottom of the El Chato. Also, hi to all the lurkers out there. Thank you for being here. Oh, boy. Me and this person's going to probably become friends.
I agree with that. I've got some Corys. Real quick, because Scuba Steve mentioned it, he said, hey, did you check the mail? I did indeed.
What? For real?
Yeah. This will be sometime this week. I'll be eating that on the Snarfer Barf. A tarantula, a dried, salted tarantula.
Make sure you get those hairs out of your teeth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's just been... No, never mind.
Lost. It'll be okay. We got the Garden Eater. How you doing, bud? You know what? I'll get to see them this week because I'm off all week.
Nice. I got a bunch of stuff because Dapper Dennis. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Paulie. I talked over you.
Finally decided to retire, Skip?
I got 9 years yet. I wish. Oh, my gosh.
I got this, but I've also got a bunch of stuff from B-Wizzle. Brandon sent me a bunch of stuff, and Dapper Dennis as well. So I've got some cheeses and meats and stuff from Dapper Dennis. So yeah, this will be a good week, Snarfer Barf wise. All kinds of good stuff. This one's going to be interesting though. I've never eaten a spider, so
yeah,
that'll be good. That'll be new.
That's why I gave you the look. I'm like, is that real? It ain't no gummy, is it?
Yeah, no, it's from Thailand. And it's Thai zebra tarantula, salt, and that's it. Yeah. And I got to use it by April 16th of 2025. And if you're allergic to shrimp, don't eat it.
Really?
No, crustaceans of all kinds. It says at the bottom down here. $35 that thing. It better not be a gummy. $35. Wow. I mean, everybody's been spending a lot of money on this Snarfer Barf. So thank you, everybody that does that. I really do appreciate it. That is awesome. Thank you, Scuba Steve. Thank you very much. It's going to be interesting. What if
Steve,
it's like
I
delicious?
think you should record this when he eats it for posterity.
They're all out there. They're all out there. What if it's like really good and that becomes like my favorite snack ever, and like I'm just always eating tarantulas?
Man, $35 a freaking spider. That's a snack.
You're right. I won't be doing that. I wasn't thinking about the
but that's the thing. What if you really like it and you're gonna be like, I want more?
I want some tarantula. God, I need some tarantula. It's been like a week.
Well, you could always pick out a spider out of the yard and pretend.
Oh yeah, I could just. There was one here the other day. I forgot what it was called. I put it on iNaturalist. It's the first thing I've had in forever because I didn't know what it was. It was nothing special. It was like a basement something or other. Hold on, I could tell you exactly what it is. But it was right here on this other laptop I have, so I took a quick picture of it.
There's trouble.
Yep.
There's the cruise director.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Have fun.
And the doggies.
I like that Tampa Tom. I don't think I have that on here on this one. I gotta find that.
Long-bodied cellar spider. So nothing special, but that was right here, and he was pretty good sized. He was pretty good sized.
Listen, freeze dry it, add a little salt. Never know the difference.
It's protein. It's protein. If you eat a spider, does it pop like a gusher?
Probably one that's not cooked.
Yeah. It's like those, what are those grubs? The Wawichi ones from Australia. They're like nature's Twinkie. You know, it's like filled with like when you bite into it.
Oh, nice and gooey.
Yeah.
Cream filled.
Give me a dozen. Dozen to go.
It's like cannolis. They're like cannolis, you know.
Yeah, but you definitely want to leave them and take the gun then.
Tarantula breeding group. Just add salt seems like a simple recipe. It does.
Come on, just get some. You take a bite of it, and you're like, it needs more flavor. Just go get some. I don't like seasoning salt, but I use. Oh man. It's a green and white bottle.
It's right on the tip of your tongue.
Yep. It's gone. It's gone.
Maybe just some chili powder or something would be good on, I bet. Like a hot spider.
Yeah.
Tajin. That's not how you pronounce it. How do you pronounce that?
No idea.
No.
I've seen it. Jesus. Can I pet that dog? He can't hear us. I wondered if it was. He can't. Tahine. That's it. Thank you, Rachel.
Jesus.
Grant said.
Grant
said, back to playing with super glue. I'll be listening. I've never tried that.
Oh man, this is heaven.
It's
Creole seasoning, is what.
So what is it? Tell us what the ingredients are. You don't have to get all of them, but like the first 5.
Salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, dehydrated garlic. Yeah, we ain't going with the other stuff.
Yeah,
but it's like chili pepper, spices, salt, and garlic powder. They got 3 different ones. This is the mild one, and you're gonna look that up, aren't you?
No, I got something going on over here. I was doing,
but you can get them to where you can get them in little packs, like you take with you whenever you go somewhere.
Yeah,
like condiment packs. But this is the mild one. They got one that's three chili peppers.
I need to try that. That looks good. You put on everything. You put on your eggs. You put on.
Oh, I
He
use that
puts
for
that shit on everything.
Yeah, I put that stuff on everything.
Yo, I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I use it for everything. That's what I use whenever, like after I cook something, I'll just add it. I don't know.
Yeah,
My
get
son
you.
loves it.
I get you. I like some spices. I'm really tired. I just figured that out just now. Like I'm sitting all hunched over and
It hits you.
yeah, just all of a sudden I'm like,
Yeah, that happened to me earlier. Whenever those J's are, oh, I can't say that part, Wally. But yeah, no, that happened to me today. I haven't had a day off yet, so that's why I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
yeah. So it starts tomorrow. You've got 16 days. No, you got 14 days.
No, the 5th, I go back to work the 16th, so 10 or 11 days.
Okay.
I'll be off. She goes to Disney World. She comes back. We'll be going to leaving Saturday for old California.
And what are your plans once you get there? Because is Dr. Awesome going to be back? Is he going to be in the area so you get to go hang out with him?
He's probably getting packed up, ready to leave tomorrow to come back. I think they're back in the States on Monday. So I think he has to go back to work. We'll be hanging out for a while. I want to go. I got to get him a call. I'm so stinking busy. I want to get a hold of George Aquaballs. I sent him a message. I would like to go to his house. Probably have a little cookout. I want to go. Probably do it. Saturday's probably the best day. I want to go up to the observatory because we're going to be out by LA.
Yeah. LA.
Yeah, LA.
LA.
Wow.
Hopefully. Of course, go to fish stores.
Yeah.
See
So
what
is Dr. Anthony the only planned person you're visiting out there? Or is there anybody else that you're planning to visit?
Steph. And then if some people come up, want to hang out, we're going to do that. It's more of a getaway, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to go over by Disneyland, but I'm not going in there. We'll probably go to Universal Studios. It'll be totally different there as opposed down in Florida because you're out by Hollywood.
Yeah. I've been to Disneyland a couple of times. Disney World only once when I was real small. But we lived in Arizona, so it was, we'd drive over.
Oh, yeah. That's probably not that far of a drive, I'd imagine.
It wasn't that bad. I don't remember how many hours, but I don't think it was too much. I feel like it was 3 or 4 hours. But I could be totally wrong. That was a long time ago, and I have trouble remembering my name most of the time these days. So, yeah. Oh, Nathan. Oh, it's all good stuff. He said, y'all are tired. I've been up for around 27 hours and even took a small road trip today and now set up 2 new To-Me 55s and 2 new DIY racks. One of the 355s done, another with sand and soon rocks. Nice. That sounds like a good day. Hi, Mark and Mark.
We got the
Look at all these
Xanadu.
people.
Oh, coming in.
All the usual suspects.
You're all rolling in.
All these awesome people. So, Paula, you said you had an eventful day at your club meeting. Would you mind telling us about it?
Well, so I spent the afternoon with Miss Dee Dee. She's a member of the club. They did the program was aquascaping. They brought a guy in from Charlotte that's actually going to be participating in the AGA in April, and he did a demo, and then they raffled off the tank. So I think it was $800 of materials. That was the retail price for it. It went for half that, $400. The tank, all the substrate, the plants, the rocks, all the hardscape, lights, filter, and it was it's a low iron tank. low iron glass. So it mitered corners the whole 9 yards. So it was definitely, I forget the company that supplied the tank, but so that was the program. And then we had our auction, and I sold $230 worth of material today, auction. So it was mostly plants. And I'm telling you, if you're in a club and you can grow some plants, all you have to do is trim them and bag them, and they sell. Listen, that's all. Whenever I do water changes, I go in and I give the plants a haircut, or I divide things.
Yeah,
I had I don't know, about 20 lots.
That's a lot of
Nice.
plants.
Well, yeah, that's why I got, but nothing. I'm looking at my sales sheet. The most anything sold for was a large Anubias that I had. I had two big. Well, it's actually one big rhizome, and I cut it in half because it wouldn't fit in the bag if I didn't. So I got 2 lots out of it. So the Anubias was the biggest seller, and that was $22, but it was huge, and it was actually flowering. So they were trying to give me horticultural award points for having something that was flowering. But 10, 12, I think, I sold some Christmas moss for $17. I'm like, ooh.
I just threw a bunch away.
It's like, and where the Christmas moss came from? It came as a hitchhiker on something else.
Oh yeah.
And it was just, so I threw it in one of my small tanks, and it grew. And this is like the third time I've bagged some up and brought it. So yeah, but it's easy. I mean, if you can grow plants.
I could say that one of the things I look for a lot is whenever I go to swaps or events or whatever is plants.
So this auction was really heavy plants. I want to say maybe out of 150 lots, they had 10, maybe 15, maybe 10% of the auction had livestock in it. Everything else was plants. And they had some hardscaping stuff, but mostly plants. So I did pick up some Epistos.
Nice.
What are they? A Bitiniana. So I got a pair of them. But they had like red, super red Ancestris bristlenose. Yeah, that stuff.
I just pulled this out of a tank today. There's like water lettuce and duckweed that it goes in the compost. Just that chunk of it of moss. So I'm missing out. So just real quick to interrupt you, if you have a fish club near you, you should go do it instead of putting it in the compost.
Oh, I'm 2 hours away. My club is
$17.
I got to drive up to Raleigh, so that's 2 hours. But so it was not a lot of fish. So, but the plants sold like gangbusters. I think once the weather warms up, it'll start flipping back to more livestock than plants. But it's good. It's all good.
Nice to see you, Elite Menagerie. It's been a while. So she has a fish store. I've been to it. It's out by Jason. It's a pretty nice store. Really like it.
Haven't seen him in a while, Mr. Jason. Hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing good. I talked to him the other day. He the remodeling still. He mentioned that in one of his streams, that front room or whatever. So they're quite busy right now.
Mm.
I know. Like what? I saw something here in the chat. Like Nancy B said, she sold a bag of corkscrew valve for $27 last month. So one of the comments I want to make about what's nice about having the swaps and the auctions is that the plants are good. The people that are putting the plants in there ain't putting in something that's going to melt right away.
It's all stuff that came out of their plant, so it's all, out of their tank, so it's already been submerged.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
The one guy, the club president, who's also big into plants, I had some dwarf sage in there, and he held it up and he says, "You see this? This plant has been submerged. How do I know it? Because an immersed grown dwarf sage has very fine textured leaves. When you have a submerged dwarf sage, it's a wider leaf. This was grown in the water, so you know you're not going to have to worry about things melting." So
Right. Yeah.
But and the other thing I do is I put my bags are heavy. I don't like put 2 stems in.
Yeah.
You know, it's worth their while. It's not like you go to a store and you're getting like 2 or 3 stems and you're paying $12.
Yeah, load them up.
I load them up.
Well,
I just trimmed the hell out of that tank too. I'm sorry, Skipper. You kept trying to say something. Go ahead.
first class fish saying except for the scuds they will give you. Well, yeah, you're gonna get some hitchhikers, that's for sure.
I wouldn't mind scuds.
Snails.
I don't mind.
You know
scuds.
what I basically do is when I take something out of, I'm ready to bag it, I shake the crap out of it. I'm like, so if there's anything in it, it's not in it by the time I bag it.
I just trimmed the hell out of the 75 because everything was like almost all the way up to the top of the water. Now look, see, it's way down here, and all of that, instead of taking it somewhere, it's just in different tanks. Like my 55 now has a bunch of more plants because it was so much. This Anubis right here is pretty nice. It's you can't see it. I really need to do a close up of it, but it is in the it's not in the substrate, but it's on the substrate, and it goes all the way to the top.
Oh yeah.
So I've got plants I took out of this one, and now 3 other tanks are a lot better off with the plants. I'm getting back into things. I've been really slacking lately, and I'm getting back into, taking care of it. So, Sonny.
Night Owl said something that they live 2 hours from Raleigh. If you're interested in going to a Raleigh Aquarium Society meeting, they meet either the first Thursday of the month or the first Saturday. This was our Saturday meeting. Next month is going to be Thursday at 7, I believe. The first Thursday of March, 7:00. They meet at the NC State Veterinary School Library. So we have a lecture hall with all the goodies.
Now, do you just do an auction each time, or
every month at the end of the meeting there's an auction?
That's a nice way to get rid of extra fish. Like if you breed a lot of them,
well,
and you're getting them out there to people. It's they'll really take care of them.
That's how I'm getting rid of all those G'dayans.
Did you take any this time?
I took another. So I gave them. Basically, what I do is I stick my fingers in there. They all come running up because they think I'm going to feed them. Hit them with the net. I usually get about 8, 10 of them. I just throw them in a bag. They're all mixed. They're from fry to adults. So, and that's what I do. That's how I get. So I sold 2 bags. So that I probably got rid of another 20 of them. And the tank still doesn't look like I took fish out of it.
Yeah. I just split mine. So I have 2 29s now. I had the one up here, the main one, and it's still, just like you said, it still looks like it's very full. But then I put about 14 of them in a 29 over in the corner over there. So they, just like you, they're so prolific.
As long as they don't have big mouth bass eating them, they're fine.
There's, the very first brood was only like 4 fry, but everyone since then has been like 10.
Yeah,
I mean,
once they get more mature, they pop. It's a 60-day gestation, but now I have so many fish in there. There's new fry in there almost every week.
Oh yeah.
Is it 60? I was thought.
Yeah, it's 60 because the fry's larger than like a
I was thinking it was even longer. Yeah, I thought it was like 90.
So it was like 60 days.
Okay. I always forget that. I always think it's 90 for some reason. Tomatillo.
So
he said Fuggin. That remember him? Remember Fuggin Fish?
Evan. Yeah, I remember him. I miss that guy. He was something.
He was something. He was out there. I remember when Peplin sent him that box of stuff for the Secret Santa.
Oh yeah.
You remember how happy he was, man? He was bouncing off the walls when he did that unboxing. Peplin really spoiled him. He sent him a ton of stuff. Yeah.
He was banging, man.
Yeah.
I love seeing that, you know. Yeah, he's saying fucking his southern for homie and bro. There
Really?
was actually, I didn't know that,
Me neither.
but Tommy, we're talking about a guy that used to stream fucking fish, and that was his name. It just reminded us of that whenever you said it. Yeah,
A lot of people didn't like it. They didn't like that name. They were like, "You should change it." And he was like, "No, I'm not gonna. Why should I change it? It's nothing bad. Fucking fish."
Like, boy, you better watch how you say that on the stream. Man, I don't give a shit. I'm not monetized.
Yeah.
Even when I am, I just said shit, so I don't care.
It's PG-13, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think I met him at my church. Fathom said. Sorry.
I did not whip. I did see it, but no, I don't. Not at this moment. I don't need none of that. I think Big Steve's trying to get me to come to Maryland to one of his club meetings.
Yeah.
First he said he got a handsome auctioneer, which is him. Now they got some good pizza.
But then he says Little Caesars. And, I'm not a pizza snob. I'll eat the hell out of some Little Caesars. But come on. Not too many people say good and Little Caesars in the same. You know what I mean? It's pizza. That is true.
Barely.
You'll still eat it, right?
Yeah.
I would.
Oh,
I'd still eat it, and I'd still enjoy the hell out of it. But,
We used to have I think it was called CC's. It was a buffet.
They used to do a buffet, pizza buffet.
Yeah, we've had those here too. Yeah.
Oh, man, that was great.
I'm not making pizza. Yeah. Maybe his Little Caesars is the best, Kara C said, and maybe she's right. Maybe that is, maybe that's like the best Little Caesar.
Fathom, I know it's cardboard, but it was the toppings that mattered. They had so many different freaking pizzas, it wasn't even funny.
I want pizza. What did I have?
Pizza.
I had a bowl of cereal. We didn't cook tonight. Nobody felt like doing anything. Everybody was tired. I took a long nap this afternoon. Nobody just felt like doing anything, so I had a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles. That was my dinner. Pizza would be better.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Gift cards to Petco. Get everything for every animal you got in your house.
Or you go get a bunch of half-priced tanks.
Yeah, he did. He got 10 of them.
Garcia.
Guard.
Somehow I have the feeling though that that's not the area where the little man is driving him from. I just feel like it might be a different area.
Let's not go there.
He knows I'm playing.
I had something. I was going to say something. I saw Garcia and remembered I had that on there. Oh, what the heck? My brain's fried today.
Mine too. I totally, just feeling it.
I just sent you a picture of the Episto I got.
Oh, yeah. You didn't talk about that. What did you bring home? You talked about what you took, but did you bring a lot of stuff home?
No, not really. I picked up a pair of fish. I got, what did I buy? Nothing. I think I spent like $50. I picked up, let's see.
That's a beautiful fish.
Wow. Yeah. Look at that guy.
I picked up a Amazon sword. It's called Fancy Twist, and a boost called Kenda Gang. It's kind of a blue green leaf with red stems. And then I said Dee Dee was there, and so she bought this. They had these 2.5 gallon bags full of Crips, Crip Wendetii, like big clumps.
Wow.
You know, so she sent me home with a few of those, and then she had these. It's a Java fern called lion's mane. It's kind of like Windeloff, but it's the way the leaf is broken up is bigger, so it's called lion's mane. So she gave me a couple of things of those, and then she had KJE sent her some bags of botanicals. It's called Dee Dee's Mix. So she had a few. So she gave me one of those. But yeah, basically all I did at the auction was I picked up 3 things. What I do, and this is for you people who want to know what the advantages of going to one of these fish club auctions are.
You people.
If you work the auction, you're like a runner. You get to see what's coming up, and you can decide what's because what I do is I move all the bags down and I set up the next one. So I'm looking at them, say, okay, I'll bid on that one. And then you can hold stuff back because if people leave, you get a better chance of getting stuff cheaper. But
so what's the name of this fish?
This is a Pistogramma bitaneata, Bitaneata. So
that is a nice looking fish.
Yeah. And that's wild colors. That is not something that has been, selected for.
And it's not even just the colors. I mean, even if the colors were muted a little bit, it's still just the shape of it, and it's just a beautiful fish. It really is.
So
I don't like my water, and they were on my short list, but I went with a different route just because I didn't want to try and maintain the water for them. I'd rather have fish that like my water, right? That's what I try to focus on.
That's what well, that's why I do these, because they like my water's acidic, not real soft, but there's no KH in it. So whatever, like I said, whatever I have for hardness is from the iron in the water, and that's it. So it's not stupid hard, but there's no KH. There's no rocks here. Nothing natural. There's no native stone in the soil here. Nothing. It's all sand and mud.
Can you type the species name in chat for Professor Fish Tanks?
Yes, I can.
Because whenever I say his real name, Huawei don't like it.
There it is. It's in there. So yeah, so they get like 2.5, 3 inches. They like warm water, acidic. They really are, they're pretty low key. So and something else to try. I seem to have success with a pisto, so I try different species.
Not only did I see it tonight, Huawei, I saw it Thursday night too, because you put it in the chat. It's like, daggone it. Yes, that is nice, a pisto.
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful. Definitely. Now, Paul, do you want to expand your live bears, your Zenatokas and stuff, your Goodeids? Are you happy with just that one? Yeah.
I'm done now. See, I have Limias. I have the Tiger Limias.
Yeah.
Again, they like the same water I have, but like guppies and platies, they do not like my water. I don't care. They come from they're tank bred and raised for generations. They just don't like my water. When I started this thing, the discus tank, first thing I put in there were live bearers. They lasted about 6 weeks and they started croaking. The only things that did halfway decent was the swordtails. Otherwise, nothing.
Just points. It points to how versatile those Goodeids are. The fact that you and I both have the Zenatoka Doidries, and they're just blowing up for both of us, and our water could not be any different. You know.
But I do have endlers. That dirted bowl that I did, I have about half a dozen male endlers in there, and they seem to be doing fine. And then there's also some glow light Danios in there. So small stuff. So there's probably about 8 or 10 fish in that 4-gallon bowl. Then there's some cherry shrimp.
I think I was gonna go killifish next, but I think I am gonna do more like maybe some limias or some different Goodeids or some other live bears. There's so many different. I'm not doing guppies. I don't want any endlers. But there's so many other live bears, and I think that's the route I want to go. I just, for whatever reason, live bears like me, more than other. You know what I mean? They just work out good for me. So
it makes keeping them that much easier.
It does. You don't have to,
That's why I don't keep African cichlids. Well, one, I think half of them are all a-holes, but they also they don't like my water. They like harder water. Whip. This book was published in 1994. At the time this thing was published, there were, what does it have here? Okay, so in 94, they recognized about 35 species of apistos. Last I heard, there was over 100 identified and double that are still sitting there needing a name.
Wow.
Well, as an example,
30 years.
Last year, was it? Sorry, year before. Whenever we did the benefit auction for the Arkoff, and Doc had brought back from Peru an apisto that he found that it was not identified yet. It was a new one, and he put it out into the fish hobby. I'll have to go back and look, see who won that, see how they're doing. But
they're because they're so small and they don't need. They live along the banks and in the plants, so you stick a net in there, and God knows what you're going to come out with. They like that lower, shallower water. So there's plenty of places for them to hide. Like there's a lot of them, and for the most part, they're great. They're great community fish. You can have a pair of apistos in a 20 long with other fish. Like that's how I keep mine. I usually do harems. I usually have 2 females to the male, and in 20 longs, Corys. Couple, I have in one. I've got ruby tetras and some pencil fish in there with them, and Corys. Beautiful thing. Fish nobody bothers anybody. It's an active tank, and the apistos breeding it. So there's very few, nasty apistos. I mean, they are cichlids. Sometimes they can get a little territorial when they're breeding, but it's usually amongst themselves. The other fish kind of like swim up here. That's why I like them. Apistos tend to use that bottom third of the tank. Sometimes Corys might take a punch, but they're armored. They don't really care. But that's basically it. They're really nice fish. You can have a cichlid that doesn't spend its whole life trying to kill everybody. Because that's you get the East African ones, they don't like anybody, or Central American. You go to Central American cichlids, most of them they're species only, or you got to have a big tank. You can't do them in like something that somebody could have in their bedroom and not have it eat up the whole room.
I was looking up that fish that Big Steve was saying about that apisto, but I never seen one like that before. The name looked familiar, but when I looked at it,
Let me see if it's in here.
Oh my God, they're expensive. You don't want
Yes, they are. Go to
redfish.
go to Redfish Bluefish. He
He's
brings
out of-
a lot of his stuff in from Europe.
Yeah,
Those, I mean, he's selling some pistos for like $180, $200 for a
that's
pair.
Man,
yeah.
No,
I
there's
have
not.
not. I haven't looked at his store in forever.
Yeah.
I miss him. I miss Jason. I wish he was back around. It's Jason, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason.
He
Yeah.
moved. He got rid of that storefront he had. Bentley said that he actually built an operation on his property. He's still on Bainbridge Island. I think that's the name of the island he's on.
Yeah.
But he got out of
Isn't
that commercial spot, and now he's working from home. He's got some kind of facility at home, and that's where he has his fish. So he doesn't
Gotcha.
have to travel far. So,
He was an interesting guy. He had.
Yeah.
I got to do a focus on with him, and
Oh yeah.
he's led a pretty interesting life. He's done a lot of different interesting things. Can I say interesting one more time? He's interesting, interesting.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
him. He's great. Yeah, I mean, his website's still up and running. He got.
Oh
some-
no, he's got some nights. He was Dan before Dan. Let's just put it that way. He did what Dan's doing now, not quite as big. He was very particular about the fish he brings in. So, and I bought from him before, and his packing was great. I mean, just so it was well packed. The fish came healthy, and basically that's about as far as you can go from one side of the country to the other, from Portland to southeast North Carolina.
Yeah.
So, it's those fish came in flying colors. I've never had an issue with them. Now some of the fish are getting pricey, but there's
That's
issues.
everywhere.
There's issues in Europe.
Unfortunately, right now that's everywhere with fish. They're just going up now because of how much it costs to ship them in.
That's basically shipping is killing them. And the other thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed, at least here, I can't find Corys. I wanted to pick up some Corys for my LFS. He had next to nothing. He said they haven't been on the lists. I mean, granted, most of it, and when I go to Wet Spot, they don't have any. Their selection of Corys is considerably less than it normally is.
It's interesting.
I'm Eric. I haven't looked. I haven't gone to buy any fish since last year when I did buy some Corys, some of the Paleatus, the high fins. They're in there with the Gudeids. That was the last fish I bought, and that was had to be about a year ago. It was about this time last year. I think I got it from Aquahuna. I buy a lot from Aquahuna. I always have. I bought like 14 orders through Aquahuna, and I had 2 DOAs spread out over those 14, and they took care of it right away. No questions asked. And it was just one. It was one shrimp that didn't make it, and I can't remember what the other. Oh, it was a CPD. I bought some of their tiny CPDs, and one didn't make it. That's the only problems I've had with them. And I love those high fins. Those Paleatus are beautiful. I watch those just as much as the Gudeids.
Yeah, them ones are. They're one of my favorites also. But I got a new favorite in this week.
Yes, I've seen it. The duplicarian. Oh, did you talk to him about that fish? The one that croaked?
Yeah, it's going to get taken care of. Did you say duplicaris?
Yeah, don't you have them?
No.
Parallelis.
The super parallelis, yeah.
Parallelis. Same
That's
Super. Super.
It's like this.
Two totally different. It's on a different. I want them on a band. I think I talked about it Thursday.
Yeah. You want them on a raffle.
Yeah. I can show a picture of them again. Them things were.
Yeah, because I wasn't there Thursday night.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah,
Tiny
Jeremy wants to know if Tiny CPD was Rico's name in college.
Definitely. Definitely.
Jeremy, he's something.
I'll allow that since you give me such great shirts.
Yes.
Now, Jeremy's the guy that likes his mean fish.
Oh
Well,
man,
when you got swimming pools, you know,
Yeah,
for
well,
tanks.
yeah. He's got a freaking Olympic pool in his basement. Yeah.
There it is, Rico.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful. And are they all with that higher fin? That's just their standard, because doesn't it seem like, you know?
Well,
That's
it's a big Corey.
Yeah. How big do they get?
Probably as big as Aeneas.
Yeah. And they're adults, so would be nice if I go upstairs before I went to bed and there'd be eggs. That'd be great. But I want to do a lot of studying on these because it's a I don't know, it's a beautiful fish. I want to get it right.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It is a beautiful fish. I do love Corys. Corys are up there for me, definitely. I've only got the two different kinds right now. Is that true? No, that's not true. But I still have some gold lasers in the 75, and then I have the Paleotis, and then I have some longfin pandas from Maria Z. Yeah, so I've got the three. I said three. I said three. And the thumb wasn't even sticking out. You know, it wasn't like three. It was, three.
I'll help you, Rico. Here,
Thank
look.
you. Just give me that extra one.
That's good.
I think I would like to get some more. I would like to get some more Corey, some different ones.
They're great fish.
I actually do have some coming this week too. Some more.
What kind?
Duplicaris.
Mm.
I want different stuff. I still have my longfin green Aeneas, but unfortunately those awesome Gideids that you both have for some reason like their fins. So they're now short fins.
Yeah, they one of the woman that bought some of the Gideids last club meeting at the auction, she came up to me, she said, Paul, I had to pull them all out. They ripped the fins off of all the small fish in the aquarium with them.
Wow.
They're fin nippers. I mean, I don't have that issue. I've got them in there with glow light tetras, and the tetras fine. My Corys that were in there didn't like them because they're galvones. They eat everything, so nothing gets to the bottom. So I had to pull the Corys out. No matter how much I tried, I put sinking food in there.
Yeah,
well, that's probably why I got so many of them. They would go down there and eat all the food that hit the bottom. So I had to pull them out.
I do have that issue a little bit, but they don't excuse me, they don't mess with the Corys that are in there at all. But I feed a little bit, and then I wait for like a minute, and then I drop some, the extreme bottom feeder or whatever.
Yeah, they go after everything. They take everything that's on the surface that's floating, all the flake, and then as soon as I feed all the tanks, and then I come back with the pellets and do the pellets. As soon as that stuff hits the water, I mean it doesn't even hit the gravel, and it's all gone. So I had to pull all the Corys because they weren't getting any food.
The extreme wafers. They seem to last long enough, especially because I do it pretty quickly. So I feed my other whatever it is that I'm feeding them at that time, and then just like a minute later, I drop a couple over, on the other side, and the Corys usually get to them. Nice, Big Steve. That was nice of him. He just gave you 10 numbers.
Appreciate it. Mountaintop Greenery, Ross, Baltimore, Nancy, or Kerosene, Nancy B in Tennessee, Eelfish Tanks, Renee House. How you doing, Renee? Darling's Tanks, Robert Reed, Sandy Dowdy, and Fish Rumor. Awesome. Welcome.
Good job, Big Steve. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was going to show a picture of what Ross was talking about the fireball cichlid. Or, sorry, Corey Doris. I gotta
Big
find
Steve
it.
says he says he's kissing your butt so he can get some of your fish.
I figured.
What are you showing us, Polly?
So I've been slowly switching over the Northfin foods. Basically, it's either extreme or this stuff now. And I was using the Hikari algae wafers, but when you read the ingredients, ain't much algae in them. So this has got organic kelp, krill, herring, sardine meal, flour, and then spirulina, garlic, and then it starts going into all these vegetables. So,
Holy shit!
what's that?
What? Jeff. These two are battling right now because he wants some too.
What does he want?
I guess I got to get to breeding those fish. Thank you, Jeff, for I can't read all those names, but thank you for gifting 50 memberships. Oh my gosh! Wow!
That is nice.
Oh my god!
Jeff, just because you gave 50 memberships to Skip's Height doesn't mean he's going to be nice to you. So just remember.
Well, I'm going to be nice to Jeff because he's actually hooked me up before too.
Yeah.
Wow!
So
just
I switched over to the Northfin, and I've noticed that the fish don't crap as much. It's because there's no garbage in it.
Yeah, no fillers and stuff.
No fillers. I mean, all food has, all these fish foods have some kind of filler, but it's so far down. They just don't. You don't see those nice little things following behind them. So, but
I've heard good stuff about Northfin. Never used any of it. I've heard good stuff. I would.
I get it at I get it at Ken's Fish, good prices, and then I have a few tanks, so I buy everything large. I mean, that's the size of the flake container.
Uncle Bruce.
Hello, Uncle Bruce.
Hey, Uncle Bruce.
And Aunt Donna and Matilda. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Ed's family.
You see these two? You've been saying this.
Going back and forth.
Sorry, that's why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at you, Paulie. Oh, here's this Corey Doris that Ross is getting a group of 6 of. There it is.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I know somebody that has some. They're pricey.
Nice.
This is Planet Catfish.
And how big do those get?
I got to go back. I'm sorry.
I feel like it's a beautiful fish, but I feel like they'd just be so striking, like especially like right there. If that was if it was a larger one, it would just be amazing, and not bad small either. But look at the barbels on that one. That's
okay.
So getting back to quality food.
Jorge.
This is Sarah, which everyone would think is a quality food. The ingredients are fish meal, wheat flour, wheat gluten, wheat germ.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't see it on there.
And then this is Northfin's version of bug bites. I like bug bites, but the thing is so small. You have 10, 12 tanks, you feed it, it's gone before you know it.
Yeah.
But this is, what's in here? Look at the one in English. Soldier fly larva. Arctic krill. Herring meal. Sardine meal. And then you get to wheat flour. So it's all those different proteins, and then right
Yeah.
after the wheat flour, it's organic kelp. So it's the stuff the fish can eat.
Yeah.
This stuff, it says growth food. I mean, it was okay. It was free. I picked this up at the Triple Crown, but
What? Why do they got to put stuff in centimeters?
Because the rest of the world uses it.
3.3
size
centimeters.
bug bites that you get doesn't go too far.
No, I mix it in. I when I get those, I mix them all together with a whole
Yeah,
bunch of different stuff. And
I usually mix this in with other pellets.
what's
They
his name? I
say
forgot his name.
That's Captain Morgan.
How can I forget that name? I mean that.
Okay, so
Right, that's my blood.
Well, his actual name is Captain Henry Morgan. The kennel I got him from, which is down here, is called Pirate's Den. So when she kept males in her breeding program, she named him after pirates. He's not named after rum. So his cousin was Blackbeard. There was a couple other ones, I forget which one, but so basically all the males that she kept in the program for breeding, she named after pirates.
that's pretty cool, though.
So he will be 13 in, what's today's date? On the 19th.
13.
That's pretty good for a Cane Corso, right?
Yeah. Normally they say 10, 12. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't have, he's slowed down a lot. He used to run like a deer. He's kind of like, takes a little while to get up from when he's laying down, but he runs up and down. He walks up and down the stairs with no issues. He still jumps up on the bed because it is his bed that he allows us to sleep in.
Yes.
Same thing with the couch. It's his couch. He just lets me sit on it.
Yeah.
But
as long as you pet him. As long as you pet him.
Of course. And he's a 130-pound lapdog. He can't get close enough to me.
It's so difficult though when they get to that age because if you're like me at all, you think about it all. Hell, Wally's year and a half, and I think about his mortality.
It started to come. I started to think about it when he hit 10.
Yeah.
But like I said, for the most part, he's healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. He does have like those fatty lumps the older dogs get, but the vet's like. His weight's great. He's little. His his night vision's starting to go a little bit, but otherwise nothing.
Yeah.
He's my shadow. He still tries to. He's all. I walk out in the yard. He's right behind me. So.
They're all talking about blending different foods and stuff. That Corydorus gets 1.5 inches, so it stays small.
Oh, okay. I mean, again, they're still beautiful, but something that striking that got to be, say, 3, like 2.5, 3 inches, that would be pretty damn beautiful,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hate whenever you look stuff up and it's in centimeters. I go to the conversion table, and
a lot of this stuff comes out of Europe, Germany, Czechoslovakia. Yeah. Like I said, this book, 94. There's nothing else out there. It's they don't write these books. Oh well, if it is, it's in German. It's not in English.
Yeah.
So,
First Class Fish. Name my band Fatty Lumps. That's not a bad name for a band. We're Fatty Lumps. Big round of applause for Fatty Lumps.
That'd be funny.
So
yeah, everywhere. Centimeters.
I must be a
Homer, my dog is a blue. He's a solid blue. Well, he as he got old, he got a little brindled, but for the most part, he's a solid blue. which
You know,
basically is gray, but they call it blue.
speaking of what they were talking in the chat about the Sierra food, don't they make the ONIP tabs? Them things are
Yeah.
junk.
Well, I tell you something. If you need to catch fish, put one of them on the glass. They hit that, and bang! You hit them with the net. You got your fish. You're not chasing them all over the tank.
No, the reason why I'm saying they're junk, at least for me, whenever I try to squish that thing on there, they end up falling off.
Well, those are the old ones.
Yeah,
They went back. Those were the new old ones. So the original formula never had that problem. Then the stupid knuckleheads changed the formula, and they fell apart. So they went back to the old formulation. So now they stick back on the glass.
So I got the second run of them because
I did the same with the brine shrimp and the freeze dried brine shrimp and the freeze dried. I do the same with those. Just stick them on the glass.
Yeah, well, I did that with the Tubiflex arms.
Yeah, same ones. Yeah, I get those. That's what all this lineup up here is. All aquarium co-op freeze dried stuff and root pellets.
So yeah, that's. But yeah, they really shot themselves in the foot. That was, what do they call that? Ballistic podiatry.
Is it like anal glaucoma?
That too.
Yeah.
It was an unforced error.
First Class Fish has a strain of Daphnia with an interesting history. Loves it. It never crashed either. And he says he guessed Greg Sage and Gary Lang use it. Oh, from Russia.
It's irradiated. It was treated. It had a nuclear bomb blast on it.
Right. Probably from
They're
that
like
one.
Twinkies now. They have a 1,000-year half-life.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's what's that place over there in Russia that had that nuclear?
Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Chernobyl.
That's where they come from.
Glow in the dark.
Ross, the problem, the freeze-dried blackworms are a beautiful thing. It's just that they're hit or miss. Sometimes they got them, and it's anybody. The guy I buy my discus from has freeze-dried blackworms, the cubes, and
You got a super set. Go to their website. I think they have them on their website.
We actually had blackworms in our auction today. Went for big money.
Doesn't Ken's Fish have the blackworms? I think I feel like I bought them from them in the past.
They have the
He might
sticks.
have.
Was it?
I bought the blackworm sticks off of them. Well, it's
I
mixed.
don't think I ever bought the sticks. It might not have been them though. It could have been. I did try them because I can't remember what I got them for. It was something specific that I got them for. Maybe it was the African dwarf frogs before I found out that most of the freeze-dried stuff really isn't good for them. I think that might have been it. Or it might have been the bluegill maybe when I first got them. I don't remember. I got them. I bought it specific for one of the fish, and they loved it, but I never went and bought any more. I could swear it was Ken's Fish. I like them a lot. Their prices can be a little bit up there, but their products are pretty damn good.
I've been buying from him my foods, and I told Skip I get my frozen brine shrimp from him. Now it's gut loaded with spirulina.
Yeah,
I'm getting 2 pounds for $10 more than I would get 120 cubes, which is 8 ounces at Petco.
Oh, nice.
And they're cubes. It's the whatchamacallit, San Francisco Bay.
Yeah.
So it's not something from China that's got plasterboard mixed in with it. It's San Francisco Bay, and it's got loaded with spirulina, and it's only, like I said, it's a 2 point. It's like a kilo, and it's just a little bit more than. It's $10 more than what I could get something that's a quarter of the size at Petco.
I need some of that. I do. I need also to get some more Daphnia. I just ran out of frozen Daphnia, so I need to get some more of that too.
This
I guess I'll
is
place some orders here
what's
soon.
they're 20, not 20, $15.99 a bag, and there's 3 different types: spirulina boost, an all natural, and a color boost. There's more of them on the website.
That's like cichlid crack. I put that on the glass, and the discus go nuts over it. I mean, I have angelfish in that tank too. If an angelfish has one of those cubes in its mouth, the discus run up to the angelfish and rip it right out of its mouth.
Wow.
I think, out of all my fish, I think the one I like to feed the most is the bluegill. He does take most of the fish will take out of my hand, but he's weird because he's super skittish. Like if I walk up there, he's gonna run away, but then I'll stand there for a minute and I'll wave at him, and then he comes up, and a lot of times I give him a little, just a little, like I'll take a corner off of one of the brine shrimp or tubifex worms and just give him a little, almost like a treat, like a puppy with a treat. He's getting pretty good size now too. He's about 6 inches. He's got to move. That's a 20-gallon. He's got to get out of there. I got to get the tub set up. A bluegill, yeah, sunfish, yep.
Yeah, that's neat.
I caught him myself. He was a baby.
Now I ordered from Ken's a few times. The summertime. Now the issue with summertimes, there's a minimum that you
6
have
pounds.
to order 6
Well,
pounds.
He didn't pull that with me when I ordered, like in August. I ordered 2 boxes of. Order a box of bloodworms and a box of the shrimp.
Yeah, but that's bulk though. You got the big. You got bulk, so that's different. I'm talking like
the little stuff.
Yeah,
like the cubes you were talking about. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in the packets,
Yeah.
skinny packets.
Yeah,
Fish food,
that's
I'm gonna
why,
get 'em.
because I just throw them in the fridge. I got the beer fridge out in the garage. Nothing's in the freezer, so I throw them in the freezer. I buy what I need. It's not going to go bad, and I just
I do the
2-3 times
same.
a week. They get frozen food.
I have a spot in the deep freeze that just that little basket is meant for all of it. So I buy a lot of the Hikari, a lot of the San Francisco Bay. What else do I have in there right now? I've got some other. I think I have some extreme flakes or something. I also put in baggies. Because I buy the big thing. But I've only got 8 tanks now, and 2 of them. Well, one of them's a shrimp tank, and the other one's got just a few rice fish in it. So I'm not feeding near as much as I used to. So I take the extreme and I put it into little sandwich baggies and then put it in the freezer, get all the air out of it. Just so, because it's still, I don't want to buy little amounts. I'm lazy. I want to buy once and make it last forever, So I do that instead of leaving it. If I leave it in the container, I don't think it's as good as putting it in the little baggies, get all the air out, and I think that's going to protect a little bit better. Oh my God.
Do you think if you vacuum seal the what you were talking about, the extreme food, is that the flakes?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to crush it too much, like turn it into powder?
I suppose it depends on how much you do. How bad do you suck, Skipper? You know what I mean? If you just get enough of it out, right? Because you can and really get it down to where it would crush it, I think. But I bet if you just pay attention and do it right, it wouldn't. Worth it to try, because then it's even way better. Last for a long time.
It'd be good for fry.
Does anybody do that? Anybody in the chat do that with any vacuum seal stuff? I'm curious. That's a great idea.
I mean, it's great if you don't, you take a big bag and you just portion it out and then you seal it again. But if you're opening it and closing it all the time,
you're
defeating the purpose.
That's why I put it into little bags already.
Yeah.
But same. That's what he's talking about, is making little bags out of the big bag. And
I was thinking about doing
Steve. Now, Steve was supposed to be, sucking up to you, and that sounds like he's not there. He's sort of,
that. All I gotta say is I better not see him March 16th. He's gonna be
Deedekins.
hurt. He's gonna be
What's
hurt.
What's March 16th? Is there
The ACLC fish swap at that fish
gotcha.
place, that pet place.
Yeah, you got a few things coming up. You got that, and Paul Dede's in the chat. She said almost finished with putting stock in plants and water.
I just floated everything. I got to go after I finish with you guys. I got to go let the fish out and put the plants in the substrate.
You got the NEC coming up too, right? You're going to be doing that in April.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are
Bridgeport.
Damn it!
I think it's Bridgeport, Connecticut,
yes.
right?
No, is it Bridgeport?
Maybe not. No, somebody will tell us. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm second guessing myself. I think it's not. I love you, Skipper. Steve.
That's what I thought.
Groton, Connecticut. Thank you, Scotty. Scotty's going to be there, right?
Yeah, the same weekend as the AGA down here in Raleigh.
Next year, maybe we might go to the NEC. I've done a couple of their virtual, and I liked what they had going on. It was enjoyable, but I mean, there's like 30 different clubs involved, and I definitely would love to go check out the real thing. Actually be there. So we're going to try next year to go to it.
I was reading up on it a little bit the other night, and it's a lot of clubs.
Yeah, a lot of clubs. And all the Northeast, pretty much, right? I mean, all of them. What are we looking at? Ooh.
These, see that thing in the back? That is a Dichrosis cichlid. It's a checkerboard. Eric Wyrock sent these to me.
Oh, okay. Well, they're nice.
Mm-hmm. So that's the male.
They ain't messing with them tetras at all.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. Like I said, a lot of these dwarf cichlids especially the South American ones, make really good community inhabitants. They don't really bother anybody. So that's the female in the back.
You got some hair allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
I know, right? Now that you got Serpe tetras, what's the?
I got there's Prostella. So the Prostellas are the kind of silvery ones. There's Corys in there. There's actually some rainbow fish, pseudomagills in there. And I have pencil fish in there as well.
I'd like some
There's a
pencil
pseudomagill
fish
right
too.
there.
Speaking of
Which one? Illuminatus? I can't tell.
The Illuminatus. I put the Illuminatus in there. So there's like half a dozen.
It's my favorite pseudomagil is the Illuminatus. I like all of them. There's like 15 different ones or something, but
is that the blue eye one?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them that have the blue eyes, right? But the Illuminatus also are the orange colors, and just they're beautiful. They're such a beautiful fish.
I got a new one that I've never seen until I listen. Don't get that band app. It's oh my, it's a good thing. I'm just going to tell you. The fish that I've been seeing, and then these spotted. I won them on a raffle too. Now I know there was somebody else that used to do them raffles a lot. There's the spotted pseudomagills.
Yeah. What the hell's their name? It's they're blue spotted.
Mellis?
Yes. Spotted ring. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Gertrude.
Oh, Gertrude.
Yeah.
Gertrude. Yeah, I had some of those. I lost them. I had Gertrudes, Luminatus, and oh God, that's one of the other real popular ones. Not Ivansoft. Trying to tip my tongue. Luminatus, Gertrude, and
There you go.
Fricatus.
Cottage, yeah.
Fricatus.
I just love, I don't know, the spots on these. Like you see them in these pictures, do not do these fish justice.
No.
Not at all.
I like the Luminatus out of all of them. So, I haven't seen all of them, though. Like I said, I think there's how many different ones are there? How many different Pseudomagills do we currently know about? Is it 15? I feel like that's
it's like a 10 or something. I know there's 2 varieties of Gertrude.
I only know about like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And out of those 5, the Luminatus are my favorite.
Yeah, I got the blue eyes that I have, the Luminatus. They're small, so they got time. Yeah, I think Jason would know, but yeah, they're small, so they got time. Oh yeah, Big Steve was saying Mellis and Marcel does have them. If matter of fact, I think Dan's Fish has some of them for sale on his website too, and they're from Marcel.
That's what I got some of my Pseudomagills from. I can't remember if they're the Gertrude or the Fricatas. One of those 2 I got from Marcel. Through Vinay. Vinay was the one.
Yes.
Got those for me.
So if you go on to Aquabid,
yeah,
that's the right name. Aquabid, it's a Roseline 71. That's Marcel on there, and you will see what he
21.
has.
It's Roseline 21.
Is
Not
it?
71.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Roseline.
it's got a 1 in it.
Richard wants you to check your text. Hi, Richard. I don't know if I said hi to you. Hi. X2 has them. Xanadude has them too.
Ooh. Okay. Rico, I'm going to send this to your Discord. How do I save it? There you go. Save. Yeah, this is a better picture of him. He just sent a picture to me.
See, the issue with the algae in that tank is it's right by a window, and this time of year, the sun it's an east-facing window, and the sun's in them all day. So
I got the same over here. I've got a 45 tall. That's the south-facing window. So this time of the year, it gets. But I don't mind. I don't get a lot of hair algae, but I do get just other algae, and I've got autothinclus in there that take care of a lot of it.
It comes, it goes. I get rid of it, and then it's gone for a few months, and then once the light changes, it shows up again. It's easy enough to pull out. I just like go in there with a bottle brush, and I spin it around, and it just pulls it right out.
Sorry.
There's another one down there, Skip.
It's easy enough to pull out. I just, stick a bottle brush in there.
That's the ones I have. It's the same thing that I have.
Yeah.
You can see you can see here on the.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Excuse me. So sorry.
They're actually graceful when they're swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much fun to watch them flaring up too. That's why I like the Luminatus so much. Well, they all do it, but the Luminatus, they get so tall. They just, it's so much fun to watch them flaring.
They puff up and they do this next to each other.
Yeah. They're definitely up there. I would like to have some more. I really do. That was the tank. I felt horrible because, well, first of all, Vinay sent me a bunch of those. And I lost them when the tank broke in the middle of the night. I came in the morning, and it was like a puddle right in the very middle with just a few things. I had bumblebee gobies in there. I had a lot of different Pseudomagills. Lost all of it, except I saved like 2 luminatus, furcata, and like one of the bumblebee gobies that just happened to survive right in that middle. All the rest died, and it was that was the worst loss by far I've had.
Whew. You don't want to get me started on that.
No, no, especially not recently.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was. I just felt horrible for you.
You want to talk about Philly getting kicked in the nuts? So what is this?
Those are zebra acaras. And again, this is in the same side of the room where that other tank is. So they're across from each other. So these things get light all day. But these are zebra acaras. I got these from Kenny when he did his auction. So there's 3 pairs of them in that tank.
Hope you feel better, Benjamin.
Again, and this is a 36 bow front, and they're not beating the crap out of each other. You know, I haven't planted heavy enough where they have some line of sight breaks, but they all have their little section in that rock pile where they hang out, and they're starting to play house. They're setting up shop.
That's good.
So I'm hoping to get something out of them.
What is that one there? Is that Siamese algae? Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
No, that's Siamese algae eater.
Yeah. I've got some of those. I got them with my Denison barbs. I think they match so well with them because they had that same stripe, you know? They just have that same...
That torpedo look.
I got them in here.
Yeah.
I got Siamese algae eaters and Denison barbs in here. Yeah, they're good. They're really... The ones that are really, really good at eating freaking algae are Garas. The Panda Garas I have, and I have the Gara Rufa that I picked up at the Triple Crown. Jason should have them because there's not a stitch of blackbeard algae in any tank that those fish are in.
You remember was it Java Fern I got from you? I was at the Triple Crown. It had blackbeard algae on it. I put it in this 55-gallon tank, and I had them true Siamese algae eaters. It was gone within 3 days.
Yeah, they go to, and I don't care. People say when they get big they don't eat algae. No, these guys still eat algae. I mean, they may eat other things, but they're constantly great. Oh, hello, come on in. They're constantly grazing on those plants. You won't get a reaction out of him unless he sees the dog. You will not bark at it. You know, so if you can bark till the cows come home. He will not bark it.
We get skippers going.
That was funny.
I think Wally just made a noise, or 11. I heard one of them just responded to me.
You don't want him barking. The windows in your house will shake when he's.
Yeah. You know, Wally's got a surprisingly deep bark as well because he's not a big dog. He's medium sized. He's not a big dog at all, but his bark is just wow. Especially when he really gets going. Sometimes his hackles get up, and he's something's got him, scared, and his bark is amazing.
Rich, if I can get those things to breed, I'll put you on the list. This is because they're not cheap fish. I mean, you go online to see what they cost. They're $45 a pop.
Can't do it. What's your most expensive fish you've ever paid? What's the most you've ever paid for just one single fish?
One of these discus.
And how much?
$140.
That's not. I mean, that's a lot, but that's not. Skipper's look. I can see in his eyes. Skipper? What do you got?
I never. Like you said, $140. I never paid that much for a fish.
It's the nature of the beast. See, with discus, I found that you can go small. You can get them for like $25, $30 a piece. But when they're that small, they need to be fed a lot.
Yeah.
They need a lot of water changes. So I go with just to make my life easier, I get them around 4 inches, 4.5 inches. And depending on the strain, they cost a little bit more. If I went with 6-inch discus, we're talking $200-$300 a piece.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like that one fish but no.
But you got to remember, you're talking about a fish this big.
Yeah. I want to say the highest I've ever paid was probably $30 some. I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, 45 for me. You got that blue lobster, the blue crayfish, Zoidberg that I had. Yeah,
Oh,
he was the most expensive. Yeah, he was $45. I don't think I've spent more than. I don't know if I've spent $10 per fish for any of the other fish. I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest, because it's been a couple of years now since I've really been buying a lot of fish.
I mean, I have like there's tetras out there. They're $30 a piece for tetras.
Yeah,
dude, but they're freaking nice.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful, but
And a lot of
tetras.
them, a lot of them ones like that are rare.
Yeah, they're new to the hobby.
So since I've been looking at this band app a lot and stuff that I've been learning and seeing these different types of fish, a lot of these are rare species too. So they're going to go for a pretty penny. Like that fireball one, it's not a cheap Cory. The ones that luckily I won are not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we were at the Clash. I saw what he had some rare Corys. He was getting $50. He was getting $50, $60 a fish.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's his. He has a band app. That's who I want him from. That's who sent him to me. I got him from New York. And that's just like some of the plecos too. Just like Jeff, he bought some off of Steph.
Yeah, Steph's got beautiful fish, but those things ain't cheap.
Yeah,
I have, the thing is me personally, I have a hard time spending that kind of money on a fish I'm going to see once every 6 months. And when you do, you see it. But
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's on how you set that tank up too.
Yeah, but still, you see how I set my tanks up. I set up planted tanks.
Oh yeah, you're not going to see it.
I'm not going to see it. I picked up a clown pleco for that water box aquarium I got for the angelfish. Every once in a while I see him, but
yeah,
it's like for 2 seconds and he's back into the wood.
I still have one too that I didn't know I had because of that. And I just saw my spotted Raphael. I have 2 of those. But I was doing so much work on here, and I have coconut huts in there. They stay in the coconut hut, and I just happened to pick that one up, and he's looking good. The one I saw one of them, so I don't know how many. I had 3 originally. One of them didn't make it. I got it from Aquatic Arts. They refunded because when he came in, he looked a little bit messed up, and he didn't last long. The other 2, I think I still have. Them.
Oh, and that clown pleco, I paid $10 for, so I don't care if I don't see him.
I don't know that I spent that much on him for mine. I don't remember.
He had nice color. You see him, he's like that nice yellow and brown. But I see him. He sticks his head out every once in a while from the wood, and then he goes right back in there, and I don't see him for another week.
Mine stay in this castle that's in this tank, and so the only time you see them is when it's feeding time. But they're awesome. You're the reason why I got them, by the way. They spotted Raphaels.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I could help.
Oh, I'd like because the striped one? It's the one that gets big, and these ones don't get that big.
Yeah.
And that's because I like them catfish. Because I had back whenever I was a teenager. Of course, I killed it because the way I cleaned my tanks back then. But I had the striped one, and whenever you were talking about them, and I looked it up, I just happened to be at Petco, and they had them, and I bought them, and they're all doing great. I love them; they're pretty cool.
Homer said he paid roughly that's roughly $500 for an Achilles tang, 450 sterling.
That's salt water. There's no comparison.
150 for a discus for Richard. Jeff Kane didn't say how much, but yeah, he was talking about the ones from Steph. Big Steve says 155, so 310 for 2 L46s. Lost both of them. Oh, And Homer does say that about the salt. Yeah.
Didn't Dean say something? He bought a group of zebra plecos, and I mean they were stupid expensive, and he lost the whole group.
I sort of remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it happens to the best of us. It's just not.
Yeah, I mean, just stuff happens.
Yep, spit happens.
Oh, heater malfunction. That's the worst.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah.
Freaking power strip malfunction.
Power strip. Yeah.
Ink birds. That's God's best creation. Ink birds. That's
That would
Ink
help
bird
Dean, but
ain't
no-
gonna work if the power strip ain't on.
Yeah.
If it trips while you're away. Oh yeah.
It's heartbreaking. It's because it's not anything you did.
No, you can't do.
You know. But I know you beat yourself up over it because you.
Dude, I almost quit.
Yeah, I know. I just
I was real close.
yeah.
But
I tried to. Huh?
Talking to people helped me out of that.
Yeah. I know Laura, LJ Shrimp. We were talking. A few other people. We were talking, trying to see what we could make happen.
Richard Reynolds. I talked to Richard today. He paid $500 for 40 guppies today. He got 10 new lines. Oh man, I gotta text him something. Whoops.
$500
for 40 guppies.
10.
I'm just done with guppies. I love them still. I do, but I just don't want to. I don't want to put the energy towards them anymore. I'm still going to keep them every year because I do like putting them in a tub outside, and I love bringing them to the Clash to give away to the kids and stuff. But I'm not going to do anything with them anymore other than that. Just muck guppies.
I think Homer and I think Big Steve were talking about heaters. Sometimes not all my tanks have heaters in them, but the majority of them do because I keep a warm water fish. In the winter, my house right now, I keep my house at 68 degrees. I can't keep discus at 68 degrees. If you put discus in 68-degree water, they're dead. Same thing with my pistos. They don't like it under like 78, 80. You put them in colder water, they're dead. They could take it for a short period, but they can't take it for a long time. So heaters are a necessary evil unless you're going to heat the whole room to tropical temperatures, and then okay, you can do that. But I do not have an outbuilding where I can do that. It's in my house. So that's why I said ink birds are the best. They're an insurance policy.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, their sensor is much better than what's in those heaters. So it's going to hold up. And what I do with the ink bird is I actually set it higher. I mean, the heater. I actually set the heater higher than I set the ink bird. So if like with the discus, I change the temperature range in the summer, it's already set on the heater. All I have to do is change it on the ink bird. So it's all digital. And I have ranges. So most of my tanks have a 4-degree range. So the discus tank starts at 86, goes down to 82. And then the heater will kick on again. And my other tanks, it goes to 78 and it hits, 77, goes back and then hits at 80 again and shuts off.
Yeah. I do 2 degrees. I don't do 4.
I keep a 4-degree, 3 to 4 degree shift because the water is never the same temperature all the time. There's always fluctuation.
We keep the house at 62 most of the winter because we like that, actually. That's what we're used to. But this room has no heat. It's currently 69 in here, giggity. And this tank doesn't have the bluegill tank doesn't have a heater, and the Gudea tank doesn't have a heater, but all the rest of them do, and all the rest of them do have ink birds on them.
Yeah. I just, again, it's like I can sleep at night. I don't have to worry about coming home to bouillabaisse.
It just helps, like you said, insurance policy, because it did happen to me when I first started back into the hobby 4 years ago, almost now. I bought a kit off of Amazon. I don't remember if it was a 10 or 20-gallon kit. Came with a Tetra heater. First week, that Tetra heater stayed on and cooked all the guppies that were in that, and they killed just about all of them.
Yeah.
So then I looked into the controllers just to add that extra little bit, because chances are when the heater fails, it's not going to, because of the Inkbird, it's not going to fail up.
Oh,
right? It's not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd rather it be a cooler temperature.
It'll go down to room temperature. See, Skip's got his fish in the basement, so not so good. But yeah,
damn it. Oh.
When I started, the heaters were like bulletproof. They lasted forever. But that's back in, the mid to late 60s. Now, even, I don't buy cheap heaters. I think everything I have is an Eheim heater. But even them I don't trust. So that's why there's Inkbirds on every, and it's $30. I mean, basically you find them on Amazon for $33. You plug them in, you can actually control 2 heaters with them. They'll handle 900 watts. So
yeah, but do they come with 2 different
No, it's one probe.
Yeah, so one tank.
One tank.
But you can put 2 heaters in that one tank, and you've got the backup too in case one of them does die. You've got that extra backup, So it's one probe, so you can control basically one tank with 2 heaters.
Yeah. So
they should make it with 2 probes, damn it.
I think they have some higher end ones that do have, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they do. I could be wrong. Geek Boy.
For most of the I think the aquarium models, it's one. It's
because I was looking at the doubles, and I think the thermometer was different the way it was made. So it's probably for like reptiles or something. I noticed, because I did look at them. I was just confused on the stinking things. That's all.
I've got a couple extras now. I've been thinking about, so for the Keystone Clash, my daughter now is probably going to be a vendor. She's going to do some fishy artwork to bring, and so Ed will probably split the table with her, so he can do all of his Tennessee Fish Mafia there. But also, I'm going to give her a bunch of stuff to give away too, like plants, and that's where the Goodeids and stuff will be. So, why did I talk about that? Oh, I was thinking about also taking a bunch of my extra stuff to give away, and doing it there, put it all right at the booth, and then just don't put it out. She's not going to put it out, but let people know, hey, do you need an Inkbird? There's one over there. The friends.
Or you got my address.
Yeah, I said friends.
That
is true. I do have your address. Do you need an Inkbird?
I don't have any. I would like to try it.
Oh, try it. Skip. Go on Amazon. They're cheap. They're relatively inexpensive. $30. It's a cheap insurance policy.
You can get a lot of times the lowest model. It doesn't have Wi-Fi. It's like 25 on sale. A lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes
what's that?
Yeah, and the Wi-Fi ones aren't that much more. They're only usually like 35. They're only like another $5, maybe $10 more.
Oh, is that the ones that you can hook to your phone or something?
Yeah, you can control and get alerts and stuff on your phone.
Yeah. I don't have, none of mine are Wi-Fi enabled. They just.
Mine either.
Because I have them to where I can see them. And, so that's it. But like I said, Skip, it's your Star Sapphires. God forbid that tank got stupid cold or started to boil. That it's just a insurance. It's like I told people when my snowblower and we didn't get snow for 3 years in a row. I says, I don't care. I still got that piece of insurance in there when it's going to snow. Not that I need it here, but in New Jersey.
I haven't. I don't know if I'm going to get to use a snowblower this year at all. It's crazy warm. all through February too. At least through about the 15th. We're going to be above freezing just about every day for the low.
I've used it twice.
It's been, this is, the last few years have been less, but this year especially, and again, we get a lot of snow usually. It's that lake effect. We get a lot, And
So you haven't been hit with the lake effect yet?
Hardly at all. I don't think
Rico,
we've had.
Go hit some wood. Go knock on some wood, baby.
I don't think we've had a foot of snow yet. We average about 4 foot of snow in February, just in February alone, and I don't think we've had a foot of snow so far this year. The bad thing about the no snow and the colder temperatures is that the colder temperatures actually makes the ice build up along the shore, and that holds all that driftwood in it. So when the ice melts, it all just sits there. So when I go collecting, like in March or April, if there's not a lot of ice, the amount of wood that's there is way less too.
Yeah, because it pushes it, right?
It just goes right back out in the water when it doesn't have the ice to hold it there for a little bit while.
And the other thing is, without the snow, the ground actually gets colder because snow acts as an insulator.
Yeah.
Water can only get so cold. You got 32 degrees. It ain't getting much colder than that. So the ground, if it's exposed to cold air, it can get really cold.
Excuse me.
It's true.
Yeah, red laser lives on the other.
We don't worry
red
about
laser.
that here. We don't get
Red laser.
You too.
Red
Go ahead,
laser
Rico.
is on the other side of Lake Ontario. And Lake Ontario never freezes over. It hasn't froze over in recorded history. Not the whole lake. You'll get some, it'll freeze out a little bit, but it doesn't ever freeze over because it's deep enough.
Does any of them know?
Lake Erie freezes. Lake Erie might already be frozen. I'm not sure because, again, it's been so warm. Usually by now, Lake Erie is totally frozen over. So the lake effect machine in Buffalo usually shuts down about mid-January because they get all their lake effect off of Lake Ontario. But this year being so warm, Buffalo, I bet you Buffalo is going to be smacked again with another big storm. I bet you they are another 4-6 foot of snow. And we average more snow than Buffalo. But the last few, it's all that lake effects. Yeah, Lake Superior too. Lake Superior is even deeper, right?
I was wondering. I didn't know. I went up to Lake Erie. I think we went up to Erie 2 years ago.
Where at? By Cleveland, somewhere around there, or which way did you go? Where'd you go?
Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, right the corner. I always forget you guys have the corner of the. Sorry.
Yeah, we actually went to the town of Erie.
yeah, Erie, Pennsylvania. Right. I've been through it a million times, and I always forget that you guys got that little chunk of Lake Erie there. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, the smokestack. Yeah, but no, I was up there. It's pretty neat. It was frozen. You watched all these people crazy just getting up on that lake doing some fishing. I ain't doing that. I'd be too damn scared my fat butt would fall through.
Yeah. Well, again, usually there's a bunch of people out there in the pond, on the bay, but we haven't seen a single because it hasn't been frozen over. Usually the tents are out there by now, and people come out. And my mother-in-law grew up, here, and her dad, my wife's grandpa, used to take them out on the bay to learn how to drive on ice. Because there's nothing around. So they would go out there and drive on the bay to learn how to control the car when slides and stuff, it's for the ice. And now you can't really do that anymore. It doesn't usually get that cold anymore.
Oh. That'd really suck if you hit a soft spot.
Yeah.
Man, you didn't know you had a submarine for a vehicle, did you?
That's it.
That'd be crazy. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. Excuse me. I'm so sorry.
We've got 10 minutes left, and I guess Vibes is going to go next.
Yeah, he usually does right at 10 o'clock. Yep. There's also Danny and and Gina. Usually, I don't know if they're streaming right now, but they usually go right about the same time. They start at 9 Eastern.
They go for a couple hours, don't they?
I think just an hour. I think it's an hour. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, Vibe schedules one at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Jorge's doing his Spanish only stream.
Yeah, good luck with that unless you got a translator for
That's
me.
exactly right.
I thought about learning it. I could really have
I
fun.
used to know a lot more than I do now.
Skip, the curse words are real easy to pick up.
No, yeah. No, I mean actually learning the language because I could have fun with that at work.
I used to be able to understand enough of it, because you live in Mexico. If you lived in Arizona for so long, especially if you did construction work in Arizona, you're going to pick it up. Most of your friends are going to be Hispanic or from Mexico. So, but now Michelle's pretty fluent though. That Duolingo, it's amazing because she can have a conversation. J-Rock does some interesting stuff with trains. Like he had a train that derailed not far from his home that he caught. He does a lot of stuff with, actual real trains, not like train sets, but trains. He does a lot of videos about trains and stuff. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Wasn't there one last year in Ohio?
Yep. Yesterday was the anniversary.
Bad one. Yeah. That was a real bad one.
Anniversary. It derailed and it did a lot of damage.
It's still doing damage, and it probably will for
a long time.
A generation, maybe. Who knows? Long time.
Then I think we've had 1 year. We had 2 in 1 year. It was bad here in Pennsylvania. I couldn't imagine.
I want to train set. I've been wanting to get into train sets again. I had them when I was a kid. Dapper Dennis keeps trains. There's other people too, but I've really been wanting to get back into it. I had a lot of train sets when I was a kid, and I saw one today where the guy had basically a warehouse that was all one big train set, and it was just a million trains, and it's just this thing. You walk into this place and they turn on one of the lights and you think, oh, that's pretty big. And then he turns on all the lights and it goes off in the distance, like the warehouse.
Movie.
Tink, 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 tink,
Hey,
and it's
Rico,
like,
MTS doesn't just stand for multiple tank syndrome.
Yeah, multiple train syndrome.
That's exactly right. A friend of mine, he did nothing big. But he set up his own diorama, and he spent weeks painting everything, with little artist brushes and
Well, there's a place, couple places. There's in one town. There's this guy I used to work with. He worked for Parole. They're doing a museum, and they're using the models. And they're setting them up to where they'll run and everything. We wanted to take the boy down there because he loves trains. We took them to East Broadtop Railroad, and what that was an old train line from the coal mines down to the main track, and they're actually expanding it, making it bigger. They're trying to get the whole thing up and going again to where you can ride it. Well, we took them down there, and they did where you meet Santa. You go for a train ride. They give you hot chocolate and cookies, and you got to meet Santa on the train. It was pretty cool. And they have it to where you go down, you back up, and then you're turning around is what you're doing, and going back up to where you came from. It's pretty neat.
We did the same thing, but it was from I can't remember where we started from. Was it Saratoga? I can't remember where we started from. somewhere south of the Adirondacks, and we took a train up into Old Forge, into the edge of the Adirondacks in the fall. And you could have drinks on the train. There was a meal and everything. It took like 3 hours or something like that for the whole trip.
that's
And
cool.
and it was in the fall, so it's just beautiful because that area is amazing in the fall. Well, Pennsylvania is pretty damn amazing too in the fall. But Adirondacks are one of my favorite places in the world, and that was a really fun trip. Had a few beers. We were with my buddy and his wife, and just a fun time. I really want to go back and do it again.
There's
That's all that train does. It's just a passenger train, just specifically for people to go.
Yeah.
It'd also be fun to do those little carts that they on the real. Yeah, well,
Boris
most of
and
the time
Natasha.
they're sitting. No,
Oh.
you're sitting. It's more like a recumbent bike, but it's on the actual trails too.
Oh,
So you're sitting down and you're pedaling, and you go along the trails, along the rails.
okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So Skip, if you want to take the boy into the wilds of New Jersey,
No, I'm
there's
good.
this place called Northlands. It's the world's largest miniature train museum.
Largest miniature.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
we
it's
have,
all toy,
Oh, okay.
HO and Lionel and that stuff. So he's got that place is he used to advertise on television. So, this is not some rinky dink little operation. If you've got a television budget.
Well, yeah, it's true. There's a place in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, which is down by Chambersburg.
Mm-hmm.
They have a museum of the Pennsylvania trains, and we took him down there for his 5th birthday to see Thomas the Train, and they rented it out in Ohio, so it wasn't there. But we got to it sucked. We got to ride a steam engine though, locomotive, and what you did is you got on these cars, passenger cars, and whenever you bought the ticket, they fed you too. They brought you a hobo lunch. It come in a hobo bag with a stick and everything.
Yeah,
that was your napkin too. And
that's cool.
It was pretty neat, and he loved it. They have a motel down there. It's called the Red Caboose Inn. You're actually staying in cabooses. That's your hotel room, which was pretty neat. So, oh man, there's so many things with like trains. Is like I saw somebody saying a rabbit hole.
Yeah. J Rock said that.
Yeah.
They've got the same type of thing on the Erie Canal and some of the flatboats that you can get on that you go through a few locks, you have dinner. A lot of times there's live music, you have some drinks. It's basically a dinner show, but you're on the Erie Canal, so you're moving. They'll go down and you get to go through a couple of locks for people who've never done that. I've done it in a kayak a few times, so it's a little bit more fun when you're right there in the water, just going up.
That would be neat.
In the kayak, yeah. I never liked to do it at first because I felt like it was a lot. Because you had to call them and say, "Hey, I'm out here. Can you guys open the thing?" I never would do that because one single little kayak. I'd wait for boats to come in, and but I talked to the guy one time. And he goes, "No, don't worry about it. It's all gravity driven. It doesn't. If you're out there, just give us a call and we'll open it up, even if you're just one kayak." So I did after that. I put a lot of miles on the Erie Canal because it's right there. It's not very far from us at all. In fact, it used to be even closer. We lived, I don't know,
They moved
15
the canal.
minutes. They did. They moved it farther. Smart ass.
Yeah, they picked up and moved it on a freaking trailer.
That's it.
Yeah. They're like, Rico's paddling this too much. We got to get him away from it.
Well, we got 3 minutes left. Everybody go over and see Vibes. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. Rico, Paulie, as always, it's great. We had a good time tonight. Everybody in chat. Let's see. I want to thank Big Steve and Jeff Kane for the battle. That was nice. I appreciate it. And everybody else, the moderators, lurkers, thank you very much for just sitting there listening to our nonsense. But, yeah, I want to thank everybody. Rico, you got anything to say?
No, watch Skipper tomorrow night, though, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is that the right time?
Yeah, 6 p.m. It'll be with Professor Fish Tanks.
Yeah.
And there's
It's
no
on
football
the
game, so there's no excuse to miss it. If
Well,
you,
it's Sunday.
if
I
you
missed
miss it,
most-
you better have a doctor's note. That's
I
it.
missed most of the Sunday streams. And
It's fine.
remember, next week, sometime next week, we'll be eating some zebra tarantulas. So
I think we should call the local news outlet and have them put it on national news.
I don't think anybody cares, Paulie.
Somebody will.
I'll
That's
care.
You know what? You put a tinfoil hat on when you're eating it.
Why?
It's just a conspiracy theory.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Paulie, you got anything?
Just stay fresh, cheese bags, and clean your tanks.
All right,
Keep your
everybody
tanks
have a
clean.
good night. Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody. See you soon.
See you guys.
Good night.
Girl.